Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast, and hello to 2021. This is going to be our first show of January. Say goodbye to 2020. It's 2021 now. Let's start off with some positive energy. And this is a show I've been dying to bring to you guys for the last few weeks now. We've finally found a gap in everybody's schedule to get it done. I'd like to introduce Lucy Poole and Lindsay Kelly of the Viv Kelly Dance School. Thank you very much for joining us.
Hi there. Hi.
Hello.
Glad to be here.
The idea of this show is, okay, we're meant to be looking forward in 2021, but let's just recap sort of on 2020. I've been dying to get a young person's perspective on the year that we've just had. And Lucy, how old are you again? Sorry, you're
16.
16. So you got that young person's perspective. I mean, I've only got a 5-year-old's perspective. That's the age range I get. So it'd be good to speak to you. How was 2020 for you? Sort of, was it hard for you to adapt?
Definitely, because obviously you're used to going out, and it's kind of a time in my life where I'm transitioning into doing more things independently, and suddenly like public transport's gone, school's gone, dance is gone. So you're just kind of stuck at home. But having things to do at home is definitely like, it did help. And it was hard to adapt to doing everything online and not seeing people and not going somewhere every day. That was just weird.
Yeah, I do feel for you, because when I was 16, I was here, there, and everywhere, like every other 16-year-old, like you said. It has been a difficult thing. Education wise, you felt messed around with schools closing, schools opening, all sort of thing, exams or what have you.
Yeah, it's been very difficult, but I think school's done everything that they can do to make it as similar as it was last year, and as easy for us to do these exams that we're going to have to sit next year. But it's kind of just been a task of muddling through and just doing what you can do with the resources you've got, the things you've got, whether you're at home, you're at school, you can do like Zoom lessons and stuff. So,
I mean, the reactions to a lot of what the schools have done has been a mixture of sort of, and okay, because the same time you're going to put yourself in the school's shoes. What would you do? Go on then, Derek. What would you do that's different, right? Because from what I see, the schools have just had to do what they can, and
I'm going to speak up there as well, speaking as somebody who's actually a teacher in a school as well, and say it's often responding very, very quickly to information. Getting the information on one day, deconstructing it on the next day, and then either delivering it or imparting the relevant information the next day. I think that has been one of the school's biggest challenges.
Exactly, quickly adapting, and it's not been easy for anybody. Never mind people that are in charge of young people's lives. It's just, it's just. I mean, I want to say a huge, before we get further into the show, I want to say a huge congrats. My boy goes to Coleham School, and they've got a video going around at the moment where it's January now as you're listening to this, but as we were recording this, the staff did a really cool Christmas video, and it's currently going viral. It's going crazy. People love it. They closed the roads so that people could be social distanced.
Fantastic.
They portioned off all the playgrounds so the parents can wait in different areas of the school for the kids and think. Well done to you guys. Honestly, seriously, you've that is effort right there. You can't do much more.
All the teachers I know, all the people who work in schools, because it's not just the teachers. I haven't known anybody who hasn't just stepped up to the challenge, in whatever capacity they can, because everybody else, everyone's got needs and their individual needs. But the commitment that has been shown has been absolutely, mind blowing. It's been brilliant.
Absolutely. But there are vocations when that can't be learned in a book. Okay, and this is why we're here today, because we're here to talk about dance and performing arts, because I'm a big supporter of the performing arts, and I've seen a lot of news stories and headlines and and things that have been very concerning to me. I've got a lot of actor friends. I consider myself a bit of an actor myself. I work at the prison. I work at the prison.
Now we know.
Well, last year I played a drag queen at the prison for a year, where I donned a wig with the beard and the makeup.
Yes.
And for a hissy fits
Brilliant.
It's good fun. We'd like to do stuff like that. A bit of voice acting, and so I love the arts. I think they're fantastic, and they've been very much under attack through the whole pandemic. Obviously theatres haven't been able to open to the scale that we used to, and they had no funding, and it's been terrible. I mean, we saw that video of Tom Cruise recently going absolutely nuts on the set of a movie of Mission Impossible, and there's a lot of people like applauding him. They're like, well done, he's looking out for people. He's Tom Cruise going crazy. Who doesn't want to see that? But at the same time,
he's actually got a point.
Yeah.
They're top of the tree. They've got millions and millions of pounds put into their product, but that filters right down to your basic, what can we do? He has got a point. As you say, Tom Cruise going nuts, but he's got a point. He's got a point. Well,
you will be fired. Get out of here. It was just amazing.
Yeah. But he's also talking, isn't he? He says that, people are looking to us. They're looking to us to make this happen. And he's not just talking about the audience, he's talking about the industry. And I think that's important.
Yeah.
And it must have been really hard. So, Lindsay, let's talk about at the beginning when things happened for you guys and how difficult that was, because the world just kind of stopped. For you guys, did you think, let's just be a few weeks and we'll get back to it?
Oh gosh, first? Yes. Yeah, I mean, I was actually in the theatre when Boris Johnson said theatres are closing. So you can imagine we were sort of walking around and we're all looking at each other, sort of almost feeling quite sort of like an outer body experience. Like, is this happening? I'm checking in with the people around me to check it's not just me. And I was actually teaching classes, so I got to say to the kids of the last class, let's make this a really amazing class. I'm not sure when we're going to be back. So we were acknowledging that. But then theatres went into lockdown a week before the national lockdown, so we were in a week longer. But I remember having a meeting on the Thursday, and we were sort of planning for the next half term, which was about 6 weeks later. And we were going, we can move this to here, this to here. By the Sunday, which was 3 days later, all of that was blown out the water. So yes, we were thinking this is going to be a few weeks, at the latest to be over by June. That's 12 weeks, be over by June. And yet here we are.
Catastrophic nightmare. That's what I could say. Is there was that thing going at the app where people could train for a new trade or something.
Oh, yes. Fatima in cyber. Yes.
I shake my head. I mean,
that lasted a day. That got taken down in a day. That was us theatre people can rise as one when we want to. We've all seen Les Mis enough. We know how to stage a rebellion. We got that advert taken down in a day. Yeah.
But obviously, when it comes to like dance and performing arts, singing even, it's all muscle memory, right? These are things that people have spent years, probably decades, learning how to hone in on their skills. So when you say, "Oh, well, maybe you could be a chef instead," that doesn't compute to somebody that's taken 15 years, 20 years to learn how to tap dance or how to do ballet, for example.
You used the word yourself earlier. You said a vocation, and it's also a vacation, and it's missing that as well. That this is, you don't necessarily go into the performing arts to be rich and famous. That's Tom Cruise at the top of the pyramid. You go into it because you have a passion for it, you have a love for it, and whether you continue that into your professional life or whether you take the skills that you've learned into a different profession, but they're transferable skills, that's all about the vocation of it.
Exactly. And from the organizers, the people that need the money, the funding to pay the actors, that's one thing. But then you look at the young people that want to go out and step into that career. I mean, Lucy, what is it you want to do when you grow up? What are you training to do? Have you got an idea?
I've genuinely no idea. I'm kind of just seeing what happens.
I know you have a passion for journalism, and I'm sure, you can see transferable skills, if that's the path that Lucy goes down, but certainly being able to talk, be confident, tell a tale, tell a story. It's all transferable skills from performing arts.
Absolutely. And I would say that when I was 16, I had no idea either. I always say on the biscuit, like if I knew that I could do this at 18, I'm 34 now. If I knew I could do this at 18, I'll probably be at Joe Rogan level now, rolling in the Benjamins. You know what I mean? But I'm not. I'm here doing what I do now. But like, you will find yourself. I imagine some people take longer than others. But like, you sent me an article, Lucy, that you'd written, and you write very well. And like,
thank you.
When it comes to writing, when it comes to writing articles and writing about the environment around you, it's all about how much attention you can pay, and then how you can transfer that from your head to paper, and that's actually a very, very important skill. So I think you're on the road, on the track there.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we're after young people for the biscuit as well. So maybe we can speak afterwards, and we can I don't know. We can put something together. I don't know. I'm not saying the biscuit is. I'm not saying the biscuit is like the highlight of going to be the highlight of your life. One day, you never.
Yeah.
Opportunity.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
No, because we do have people at the biscuit from all kind of like areas of life. You got Shane, who's the mechanic, the guy, the bloke, and then you got Dee, who's like, he loves her nails and a little Minnie and a little dog and all these things. And then you've got Jules, who's from a different sort of. I will say this, she's from a different generation. So we have that kind of depth. I think when it comes to young people, we need to listen more, all right? Because when it comes to intergenerational sort of communication, it's really important.
Yep.
You learn from me, I learn from you. So.
Lucy knows I'm very passionate about that myself as well. Absolutely. I applaud that sentiment.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. So what happened with the dance school then, Lindsay, once you realised that this isn't just going to be a flash in the pan, this whole lockdown business?
So within a week, we'd gone online. I started off doing Facebook Live classes. Most of us hadn't even heard of Zoom at that point. But within a week. Throughout the first lockdown, I continued delivering free content on our Facebook page. That felt very important to me, as people, there's a lot of people who have been impacted financially and in terms of need. It felt important that I could generate something that was accessible for everybody. And then for more sort of specifics for people in the school, I started doing Zoom classes, which were based on the classes that we teach anyway. And then over the summer, I did an online summer program of sort of workshops and activities, which was all people that I know who were professionals in the performing arts. And I asked them whether they would contribute, to try and keep this little, essence of theatre alive and, generate audience and all this sort of thing. And had a fantastic feedback. So, we had workshops from Jersey Boys, the US tour. We had an interview from Brad Fitt, who is our wonderful pantomime dame at Theatre 7. We had an interview with Adam Bergen, who's a theatres manager. He's up with us and wanted to be a theatre manager from the age of 12, and now he has 2. So trying to get in all walks of life, really, but just to keep something going, and then. When it came to lockdown 2, I went even further and I did all of our classes online. We have a lockdown 3. Oh, who knows what I'm going to do in lockdown 3. I'm going to be staging musicals. Yeah. So,
Good to see that positivity, though, because
Lucy took part in most of those activities.
Fantastic. Well done, Lucy. I mean, what was it like for you having to go from you wrote about it in the article. I don't want to paraphrase your article too much, but you were talking about sort of like the feel of the dance school and the noise and the environment around you, the atmosphere. But to go from that to Zoom, what was that like for you?
It was definitely very strange, because the dance school is I've known the girls that I dance with for years. So we are very close and it's a very strong community. And to suddenly go from that to just seeing everybody on Zoom and online, and at the very start, as it was Facebook Live, we were just looking at Lindsay and we couldn't see the other girls. So we was just kind of relying on text and going, are you doing this class now? Or is it just me? But yeah, it was very strange. But Lindsay, she created a lifeline for, I know not just for me, but for so many other people. And it created such a community that, I feel like it's even stronger, and you feel like you're even more of a part of it because you've all been through that. You've all done the Zoom classes and you've all done the Facebook Live and you've all done it twice pretty much.
Yeah, you've all got the medal. You've all got the participation medal now, haven't you? We were there, we did it.
Yeah.
As a guy that's been very much having to adapt to streaming throughout this whole year. I mean, everything we've done has been through Skype and Zoom and StreamYard and Facebook Live, all these sort of things. It's a lot of pressure there, especially when you're doing a live performance on, say, like Facebook, and you're relying on technology and bandwidth and all these sort of things, and perfect queuing.
Yes.
Learning curve?
Yeah. Oh my goodness, yeah. I think we all spent a lot of time looking at the top of each other's heads to begin with. Anyone who's been on Zoom, with particularly in group chats, there's always the person who can't find the the button to turn their microphones on, or in particular with the dance classes, I just absolutely love all the people who walk past in the background, or the people. There's been some classics which I just love, of people crawling past in the background, and I'm just like, that is commitment. That's commitment to not being in the shot, but I can see you. I just adore that. I actually choreographed a routine which was based on the things that I'd seen on screen, and we did it on screen. So there's hands coming into the screen, the pressing the button in the corner like this, So yeah, you gotta have fun with it, haven't you? You just got to embrace it and have fun.
Well, this is the life we live in now, right? This is what we have to get used to. I mean, like my wife likes to. She's gone out now. But I did a show this morning, and she went and sat in the bedroom with Timmy, my little boy. And I was like, you don't have to do that. I want that in the background. I want people to hear that I'm having to adapt just like everyone else. I like having that sort of chaos in the background.
It's life, isn't it?
Yeah.
What about when it comes to? I mean, during lockdown, I saw some amazing attempts at sort of bringing people together online. Goldfinger, the band Goldfinger, they were a perfect example. They released some amazing music videos where they all just recorded their bits and they put them together. I mean, the lead singer from Goldfinger is worth millions, but I mean, like, he had the ability to be able to get all that done professionally.
I mean, he wasn't behind a mattress in his spare bedroom.
Exactly, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not
under
like
a duvet, trying to create good acoustics.
Exactly, yeah. He's got like a recording studio in his lounge.
Yeah, his back garden.
But like, when you don't have the resources available like that, you've got to improvise. And there's an amount of lag as well on Zoom. There's like a couple of seconds, even if it's half a second. I imagine the teacher of a tap dance class, for example, everyone has to be moving in unison, and that must be really difficult to choreograph, right?
Well, I've mentioned this before, actually, in conversations, that I've discovered this new skill that my brain can actually filter out lag. It's very odd. I can actually watch 14 people on a screen, and they're all fractionally out of time, but my brain will actually sync them together now. Never, I suspect this is a dormant part of our brain that would never have evolved had we not had to. I taught singing as well, because I teach certainly in the last lockdown, the lockdown 2. I taught our theatre groups as well. So I was teaching harmonies, so teaching 3-part harmony lines, and then trying to get people to rehearse together. And yeah, it's amazing what the brain will do when there's a lag on a 3-part harmony, but you can still filter it in and go, yep, no, that's right. Oh, that person's not on that. No, oh, yeah, very strange. But again, it's just adapting. But yeah, little did I know that my brain could filter lag.
It's a crazy skill to have. I wish I had that.
Yes. Never needed it before, that's for sure.
What was it? I mean, we just talked about sort of like going from the studio to being at home, Lucy. But what was it like, the noise sort of thing? Because obviously, I don't know, tapping and singing and stuff. The neighbours like, "Oi, keep it down!" Like, what was that like for you?
I didn't really experience that. My kitchen floor's too slippy for tap shoes. I'd have been ice skating if I'd have tried it with tap shoes on. So I kind of had to do tap dancing in socks, which was an experience for a good 4 months. Yeah.
He's a very good tap dancer as well, so that would have been a strange experience.
more of a swoosh than a tap, like a
Yeah.
So when it comes to putting productions on, obviously, are theatres open, like, but not to full capacity at the moment? What's going on now?
Yeah, for instance, Theatre 7 is open at the moment because of the tier that we're in, which is fantastic, which means that we are back home. For the most part, our classes are back in our dance studio, which is fantastic. We're moving towards having all our classes back there. That would be great. That just depends more on the government. But the theatre space itself is open, so there's been cinema screenings, and there has been live productions as well. Very recently, again, Brad, who I mentioned before, the pantomime dame and musical director Simon, put on what was originally a one-man show, but actually evolved because there was some singing in it and things. So there has actually been a Christmas production, and that's been revisited shortly after Christmas. I think that opens again on the 27th of December. There's limited seating. I mean, I think there's, forgive me if I have the incorrect numbers, but it's something like 125 seats available in the 650 seat auditorium. So there's massive social distancing, massive limitations. But it is live performance, and it is fantastic live performance. I mean, those two are brilliantly talented and very passionate about creating that enjoyment and escapism and keeping theatre alive. So I strongly recommend that if indeed there are tickets left, please go and see it, support your theatre, support those artists. They're fantastic, and it's a good night out, and we all need that. We all need that.
Escapism is a very important word in what you just said as well, because, there's a lot of talk about sort of like HBO Max taking on all the Warner Brothers movies and putting them onto a streaming service so you can watch them all at home. But I don't want that. I want to go to, like, for Star Wars, for example. I want that first injection of John Williams into my soul, like surround sound on a giant screen. I want that. I don't want it like on my. Okay, I've got an okay TV, but like it's not the cinema. It's not the same.
No, I want to see the new James Bond film in a cinema. I want to have that same feeling.
Exactly, and it's the same for theatre. I mean, more so with theatre because, these guys are working their butts off on stage for you, and go on, carry on, because I'm going to segue out of this. But I was
just going to say that it's also about the smell. I know that's a very strange thing to say, but we were lucky enough to, Lucy's nodding away there. We were lucky enough, there was some work done on our studio about a month ago, and we were lucky enough to do some classes in the Walker Theatre, and I hadn't been back in a theatre space. I'd been in the theatre, but not in a performance space since March, and it smelt right. You have to have it. It's DNA when you go, it smells right. But other people, as I say, Lucy's nodding away here, and other people were like, oh, it smells like a theatre.
That's lovely. I like that. That's the environment that you're used to, though. You're a fish out of water if you're not doing what you love, right?
Yeah.
That's what I say. I was going to segue, but I can't remember what I was going to say.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. That's the art of podcasting. It's my fault. Theatres are a very special part of culture, and they have been for a millennia, right? So for them, for things to be struggling the way they are, is like people are. There are some people that will go along like in life and not really like worry about that too much, but I do, because it's a very important part to culture, like I just said. What kind of rebirths have you seen for 2021? Is there anything that you guys have learned, evolved, and put together so that you can move forward?
Yeah, I mean, for me, just at the end of term, the classes of 8-year-olds actually did a live streamed performance. So we couldn't normally at the end of Christmas, we do a little show. The adults are coming to the studio, lots of tinsel, lots of fun, sort of a very small scale, but very uplifting. And of course, we couldn't do that because we have restricted numbers as to how many people can be in the studio with us. So I had the idea of, well, let's live stream it. So sent out a Zoom link to all the adults. Some of them wait outside for her, so they were just outside the room. Others were at home. Other people who couldn't normally make it to see that performance got to see it. And I can see that is going to be something for the future. I've done the same with classes. Very recently, I've started doing some mixed media in the classes so that people are maybe self-isolating, or again, people who can't access the classes. The classes are happening live in the studio, but I'm streaming them as well, so people can access them in 2 different ways. So these, to me, are, this has potential for the future, not only during this tricky time, but what can we do with this later on? There's this stuff here.
There's been some clever use of green screen, I gotta say, especially with, take back to Colum, like the kids' nativity, the actual nativity they did a lot. The guy that runs the IT and has put all that together for Colum deserves a raise, because they had like the kids dressed as donkeys in the actual desert because of the green screen.
Actual desert.
Oh,
yeah,
So you couldn't do
desert to Colum.
You don't get that on the stage normally. You get like the cheap little sets that they make, which are great, by the way. I'm just saying it adds something to it.
Yeah, it's just that what else can we do, isn't it? It's not to detract from anything before. It's what else? What else can we do? Yeah,
exactly. And it's instead of sitting there with your arms crossed and going, you're like, okay, let's move forward. What else can we do? And it seems like that's what you guys have done.
Yeah.
And Lindsay, and Lucy, what were you working on before the pandemic with the dance? Is there something you missed out on? Was there a performance that you were working towards that just didn't happen?
Yeah, we were 4 months away, I think, from the main dance show that we do for the children's and the youth dancers, and that's Born to Dance. And that happens every year, and it is like a massive show. It is great fun. It is literally the highlight of my year. And we prepared dancers from that literally all year. That's what every year's effort goes into. So for that not to happen, it was really sad. And I think the theatre and dance is literally in my blood, and every year the thing that I look forward to is going and performing on that stage in front of people and showing them what we've done and making Lindsay proud and showing her that all the effort that she puts into it, because she puts a lot of effort into it, and it does all pay off. And not doing that this year, it was a bit like, oh, I miss that.
I imagine it's a strange thing because, okay, for example, right, say we get 600 downloads in a month or something, okay, or a week, whatever we do in the Biscuit. That's enough to fill the theatre, right? That's the audience I get, right?
Yeah.
Whereas you guys go on stage, you see them, they're right in front of you. You get that fear and you get that adrenaline and stuff. When you switch over to some of that streaming, you don't see the audience. There's like, does that make you braver, or does that make you more complacent? Or what does that do to you?
I like an audience. I have to say, I like a live audience. Yeah, it's great being on Zoom. It's great doing all this, but some of the stuff I was talking about that I did in Lockdown 1 was the prequel. Was that I did some pre-recording, which was basically teaching to the wall and not having a response, not having the audience. That was really hard. I was just talking to a wall. So personally, I'll take an audience any day, preferably a live one. But yeah, I just like people.
There's nothing worse than sitting talking to a clock, is there? I mean, like That's all I always say. I used to monologue I used to be like, "Hey guys, welcome to this episode. Today I'm going to be talking to," but I'd sit and record this in my kitchen, staring at this giant clock on this white wall, and I'd just be like, "Oh God, this is
yeah." Give me some interaction, please.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Whereas now we're doing a lot of with my other show, the US UK stuff. We're doing things on StreamYard now, so we got all the comments coming up, and we can bring them on the screen, and we have the interaction.
Doesn't that make a difference?
It really is.
That stream, we're coming up, people asking questions, commenting. It's like, yes, there's people out there.
Amazing, it really is. Yesterday, Tom Bruno, my co-host, spoke to Santa. My friend Matt Spalding over there in Vermont, he's a professional Santa, okay, which is real, by the way. Santa's real for any kids that are listening.
Yeah, totally.
But it was nice to interview Santa and get those kids like sending in like, "Hi Santa, it's such and such." "Hi Santa," and he was just speaking to his kids over StreamYard. It was just a nice way.
So cute.
And I know we're into January now, but like I said, I'm recording. It's not even Christmas yet. But hey, I want to say congratulations to Love to Stay as well by Silent Leisure. There, we took Timmy to go and see Santa. And I didn't know what it was going to be like. I was going to record it and make a vlog and all sorts, but because this is a COVID Christmas, like this is unprecedented. We've never seen this before. But there were lots of people apart, and I felt really silly. But you guys did a great job in making it safe and nice and warm as well, because they did it inside the pizza oven building, so it's lovely and warm in there. So. 2021. What's it's hard to plan, right, for 2021. But what have you guys kind of want to do?
My heart is set on live performances. Oh, come on. We missed, as Lucy says, so many of our school shows. We were 2 weeks off our adult and youth theatre group show. We were down to costumes, we were there. And then, Born to Dance, One Night Only, In the Spotlight. These are all shows that we do. Children's theatre group musical, massive. Yeah, we didn't get to do any of those, but we are still working on those. We're rehearsing for our theatre groups. We're rehearsing for, whatever we can do. So, oh, please, come on, let's have some live performance.
Is it a case? Is it a case of go hard or go home, or is it like we'll compromise and we'll do it with masks? Where we'll
adapt. That's what I've done since 6 o'clock on that Monday when Boris said you're closing. That's it. It's been adapt. I would rather adapt and move forwards than, refuse to compromise and not be able to make progress.
Exactly. I mean, we've all seen that famous picture that went viral for the American brass band with the holes cut in the mask so they could blow their instrument. Yeah. Not quite what I mean, but yeah. No,
I
know what you mean. I'm saying, like, people try to adapt, but some people push
it's adapting, yes. Hopefully adapting effectively and safely there.
Common sense, people. Common sense.
Yes.
Lucy, this year, what's it meant for you with school then? Did you say that your exams been pushed back a year then? Is that what's happened?
I was due to sit my exams next year. I'm in the last year of secondary school. So they've been pushed back 3 weeks, but not much else. I don't think they've been pushed back. Well, I hope they haven't been pushed back a year. I'll be very angry. No,
that wasn't me going, "Oh, by the way, Lucy, I have some news for you."
Oh no!
Viral, Ben.
This is why you're on the show, because I don't know. This is the thing. So that's taking a chunk of your summer out, but at least you get to, be qualified in whatever you've been trained to, and are you were saying like you spend a lot of time at home doing things, learning new things and stuff, like, so you're a budding writer. Have you been writing a lot? Have you been finding things to write about?
Yeah, I think over lockdown, because obviously normally I'd be at school 5 hours, 6 hours a day, and then I'd come home and I'd have to revise and I'd have to do other things, and it does eat up a lot of your time. And then to not go to school, and that was back in the time where the school, they hadn't quite got the technology up to do live like Zoom lessons and Teams lessons, so they were setting us work and it was like over email, if that makes any sense. So you did have more time than you usually would, like your lunchtime where you'd usually be patiently waiting in a lunch queue. You did have time. So I did find the time to get really into writing. And it's something which is kind of developed, and I do want to do it more, even though it's coming up to exam season and it's all getting a bit panicky. I do want to do it more and find the time, because it was something that brings me, it's really rewarding as well to go from, interviewing someone, like interviewing Lindsay, to taking it to the first draft, to getting more ideas of what you could do, because you build on what you've already said. It's very rewarding, and it's something that I do definitely want to do more of.
Yeah, and there are many places in Shrewsbury as well to kind of learn that sort of skill. I mean, Katie Rink at My Shrewsbury, for example, amazing ambassador for Shrewsbury and for young people as well, and for writers. She's her magazine is full of initiative, and it's beautiful. And there's so many just. I always say it's something in the water. It's got to be something in the seven, right? Because there's always somebody in Shrewsbury trying to come up with a new idea and successfully so. I mean, look at the carols on the doorstep during the Christmas was just when national. It was on the news. It was on the one show. It was everything. Yeah, and that just goes to show. I mean, I've witnessed that since I started the Biscuit 2 years ago. From the start right up to now, it's just people with just raw talent. So yeah. It's there for you. It's there for the taking. Can we talk a bit about the Viv Dance School, the Viv Kelly Dance School?
Of course, yes.
Where did this all begin? Very, very quickly, because I know we're not we've got like 20 minutes left, but yeah, where did this all begin?
So we started about 38 years ago with my mum, Viv Kelly, and I'm Lindsay Kelly. So my mum was a professional dancer when she was younger, and as many people do, stopped her career, sort of had me, stuff like that. And then it was the early days of the aerobics craze, so the sort of Jane Fonda, that kind of workout. Yes, I can see you doing that. That's marvelous. All of that. And she started teaching in village halls here in Shropshire. And then there came a day when she said, look, I'm actually a dance teacher, would you like to learn some tap dance? And it was a sort of one-off, let's fill sort of 10 minutes kind of thing. And basically never looked back. She was working further education, higher education. She was working village halls all over South Shropshire, and carried on doing that for about 10 years. And then we got our first studio here in Shrewsbury, St Austin's Friars. We were there for about a decade, and then we were invited to go and be the resident dance school in the music hall in the old theatre here, which many of us have absolutely wonderful memories of. And then, amazing. We had a new theatre built, and, new theatres just don't get built. So, how fortunate were we? So we moved across to the new theatre, and we've been there for the whole time that's been opened. I think that's 12 years. Somebody might well tell me that's different, but it's something like 12 or 13 years. And so we're resident in Theatre 7 now. And I took over the business, I'm going to say, it's however long the theatre's been open, that's how long I've been principal for. So, 11, 12 years, something like that. Myself, I trained with Viv. I took the academic route, so I went through GCSEs, A-levels, university, but all the time I was working as well. So I've done all sorts of wonderful things, like being a Butlins redcoat and wonderful things like that, being in pantomime, and so I've had my career alongside of that as well. So I've got some good tales to tell.
Very versatile.
You got to be in this business. I'm sure you know that as well. You've got to be able to turn your hand or your feet to anything.
Oh, that's an amazing story. That is fantastic. I mean, like, what does a resident dance team, company do? Like, so if a production comes in, they'll be like, "Oh, we've got dancers ready."
Yeah, we've had some fab opportunities. Sort of going back a while now, but it means that we get workshops from the when the pantomime comes into the theatre. We get people come in and do workshops for us. But it also means that like the ballet companies, the touring ballet company, we've got some. I'm sort of smiling to myself at memories I've got of ballet companies coming in, and basically they need sort of spear carriers, effectively. effectively, you know, trees in the background. And I did that. I remember I have very short hair, and I don't look like a ballerina at all in that respect. You know, I don't have a bun. I'm sort of not quite that style, although I do teach and love ballet, but I don't look like a classical ballerina. So they decided I needed some flowers in my hair, and that was going to make all the difference. And they scraped this thing into the back of my head, and it was sort of held in my scalp. I remember this. Yeah, this beautiful kind of flower headdress, but it was like, you will wear this, you know. But absolutely brilliant memories. You know, I got to play the rats in the Nutcracker. All kinds of wonderful things and different opportunities. But as I say, I'm sort of smiling to myself at the memories, and I'm aware that we've only got a short amount of time. Otherwise, I could carry on.
Hey, it's the new year. We should make new rules. No time limits on the biscuit. There we go. Now we've got another hour if you want it.
We're still very heavily involved with the pantomime as well, because the pantomime at Theatre 7, I'm the head chaperone there, so I'm responsible for all the children who are in the performance. And Viv is, we're very lucky to have Viv, who is an amazing costume designer. She can do anything, actually. She's incredibly talented, but she is the wigs and wardrobe mistress on the pantomime as well. So that's another way that we're very, very much still connected, and we just love that. We're missing it very much.
I feel like I need to do more with Theatre 7. I really do. I think maybe this year, this is probably one of my goals. Is we work with Charles from Micro Video. He's amazing.
Oh, Charles! Charles and Heather. Yeah, love Charles and Heather. Yeah,
they're amazing. They really are, especially the little dog. They're so cute.
They're so lovely. Yeah.
We worked with them at the Shropshire Virtual Show, and they've got the van where they were doing all the videos, and honestly, it's like a spaceship inside that van. And the stuff that they were pulling off was like something. It's better than what you'd see on Jules Holland or Top of the Pops back in the day. Anything like that, they do an amazing job.
They do.
And of course, the theatre is a hub of especially the new guys coming through, like yourself, Lucy, the new generation of artists coming through. I'd love to sort of like be around that and sort of have give you guys a voice and sort of talk about.
Let's see if we can, hook something up here. I think there's a lot of potential here, isn't there? Definitely.
And I've got a great beard coming on here. Like I can make a good Bill Sykes, Oliver!
Have you got a dog? You need a dog.
I'm sure we can get one. With
the patch on his eye.
This is one of those things, like with working at the prison, is the improvisation, because when we get given a role, you don't go on stage for an hour and do it and then come off. For a whole day, you are that character. And they gave me this job as the Irish chef once. Okay, so we had a secret bar behind a curtain, and then when the screws come in, I'd hide the bar with the curtain and turn the disco lights off, and I'd have to keep this accent on all day. And after like 3 hours, it had gone. This accent wasn't Irish anymore. I don't know what it was, but people were like, "You're what? You're from where now?" I love that. I love being the center of attention. So, Lucy, Christmas, it's been a strange one for everybody. I mean, I know that this is coming out in January, but we are just about to witness a COVID Christmas. What's it like for you guys? What are you expecting? Because it's different, right?
It's very different. I think just trying to... It's a time where you can be with your family or for one day, not 5 days anymore, but still one day. You can be with your family and you can see the people and just take some time out, because I know people have had quite a bit of time this year with being at home and everything, but it's never been easy, if that makes sense. And you can just, for one day, you can just switch off and just go, right, we'll just have a little relax. And I think that is... Yeah, just having a day. Just a day is good.
It's a good year for I mean, like, I work for the last sort of 4 or 5 years. I've worked over Christmas Day, Boxing Day, New Year's Day, New Year's Eve. I've done all that, you know. This is the first year I've got a clean just run, just off. Christmas off, New Year's off. Like, this is the year for me, right? And it's the year I don't have to do any running around. We don't have to go to Nana's. We don't have to drive around here. We don't have to do all that. And this is but we're moving house.
Nice.
Like, my current situation is right now is I'm sat on the floor, which is why I'm moving around loads, by the way, because my knees are like, Whiteley, get up. This is on the coffee table. Boxes everywhere as I'm looking right now, because we're doing this all in the middle of a move. So interesting times. What about you, Lindsay? What are you doing for Christmas? Are you?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, normally we'd be working on pantomime, and you know, most of my adult life has been spent working on pantomime throughout Christmas, and not doing that is very, very strange. Normally I break up from the school, but then I don't really break up. I just do more shifts at the pantomime. And I think I know I'm really missing that. I'm looking forward to spending one day with my family, but that's actually normal for us. As we work Boxing Day, we would work, Christmas Eve. Excuse me.
That's okay.
Yeah. So in terms of time, it's actually the same time for us. It's just what fills the rest of the time is very different. And, let's hope that Panto's back next year.
I really hope so. And obviously I want to get involved with it. I did try last year, but the Biscuit had just begun. I was kind of like, I've got a podcast. You want to come on my show? And it never really happened. Whereas now we're kind of like the Biscuit, so maybe maybe we can make an impression next year. And I've worked with obviously I call them my prison family, right? The guys that I act with and have done for the last couple of years. That camaraderie, that sense of family, especially for you, Lucy, who's coming up in the world. You're out there socializing. You're with the girls that you've been dancing with, and the guys, I guess, you've been dancing with for years, and you're not seeing them as much. It must be hard, right?
Yeah, it's very hard, because I think, aside from school, obviously I've been with the people at school for years, and aside from school, I think it's very important to have friends outside of school that you would necessarily have more in common with. Like, there's quite a few people at school who obviously don't dance. So that's something that when I try and talk about dance, they're a bit like, I don't really get it. I don't understand. And you're like, okay, sure. And I think it's important to just kind of detract away from school, because school can get stressful, and a lot of things can, happen at school. Like, people make mistakes. Obviously people make mistakes. And people can often just kind of take that against you. And it's quite nice to have people who don't do that, and who get you and who have things in common with you. And I think that it is very nice to have that outside of school, which is very, very important to me.
Yeah, very much agree with you there. And I'm a podcaster. I know what that's like. I go to some of my mates, like, I've got a podcast, and they're like, like, really? Okay.
And other people are like, cool.
Exactly. When people ask me about it, I'm like, have I got a story for you? Sit down, grab a drink. And Lindsay, what? How do people? Are you after actors? I mean, obviously at the moment, like, things are difficult, but can people still get in touch with you to learn?
They can, yes, most definitely. Yes, we are still enrolling. We haven't been able to the same way this last year, but if people want to get in contact with us, they can. Do you want me to do a shout out now? Or?
Please do, plug away. This is what this is for.
So they can call us on Shrewsbury 01743 344 737. We're available on all social media, but Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, we're right there. Or just come and say hi. We're very friendly. We're very welcoming. So yes, if anyone would like to join us, we're the dance school for enjoyment and pleasure as well. our ethos has always been that if you want to perform, if you want to dance, if you want to do musical theatre, performing arts, whatever you want to do, and you have a passion for it, then you're welcome. You don't have to be the best. All we ask is that you do your best, and we will support you 100%. And, you know, we believed in that for about 38 years.
Amazing. What's the age
Our usual age range is between 3 and our oldest students are approaching 80. At the moment, we're not doing the classes for the tiny little ones at the moment, just because of that safety factor of small children. But we're very much hoping in the new year. I keep saying this, I've said this all along, that you know, as soon as we can, we'll be back to our tiny tots, because I miss them. I miss the tiny tots. But certainly our 8 to 80-year-olds are all happy performing and learning with us as usual.
I didn't realize it was so young. My boy's, well, he's 6 as this is going out. He's like, I've tried to get him to watch football. I tried to get him to watch NFL. I've tried to get him to watch all sorts. It's all about the dancing, all about dancing.
Fantastic.
And singing.
Well, we've got space for him. Definitely.
I'll have to get in touch. Yeah. I'd
Yeah,
love to
give us a shout.
And me too, maybe. I don't know. I'm more about the voices and the.
Sounds like performing arts. We've got an adult theatre group that I'm thinking, hello.
Hi, hello.
Wednesday night, Simon.
maybe I would love to though, because I want to use what we've got here at the Biscuit and USUK, UK and stuff I do as a platform to find unsigned bands, performers, but also take part in things as well. Go to things, showcase things, but also take part. That'd be just amazing. Just to be like Alex Whiteley from the Shrewsbury Biscuit is.
I definitely think we need to be having conversations about this, because I'm always looking for new ideas. As I'm always trying to think, you know, what can we do that's different? What's new? What's, you know, how can we involve that and make, you know, 2 and 2 make 11. That'd be interesting.
Getting my American co-host Tom Bruno singing "I Am a Crow" would just be the best thing ever. If we could dress him up as Peter Pan and get him, yeah, that'd be amazing.
Are you sure now? No, I'm always up for new ideas. I'm up for collaboration. Lucy knows this, you know, particularly over Zoom and lockdown. You know, this has been a big part of what I've done. Yeah, definitely been.
Lucy, I want to say a huge thank you to you for putting this together today, because because what you've done is you've taken something that you enjoy and you've given it a voice, and you've reached out to me and the guys at the Biscuit to kind of illustrate the things that you've enjoyed and the things that you've appreciated about what Lindsay and the guys at the dance school have done. So well done to you. That shows great sort of initiative. So well done for you for putting this together. This has been awesome speaking to you guys. Honestly, it really has.
Thank you.
Lindsay, I'd love to catch up with you guys when the world opens again. You know, and you guys
shout. Really, truly,
definitely.
Stay in touch.
Yeah, absolutely. Lindsay, Lucy, do you want to give a shout out to? Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to? Anybody you want to say hello to or thank you to or anything like that?
Oh, hopefully they're not in the house. Mum and Dad, thank you. You are amazing. My granny and granddad on both sides, they're incredible. And she's here, but Lindsay, thank you so much. You have been such an inspiration and a role model to me, especially this past year. Like, I look up to you so much. Thank you so much for everything you have done for us this year.
Thank you, Lucy. I mean, you make it all worthwhile. So thank you.
And Lindsay, likewise, if there's anybody you want to give a shout out to, anybody who's helped you out this year. Always
my family and friends who are incredibly supportive of me, but most of all the school, Viv Kelly School of Dance and Theatre, and everybody involved with that. Not just the people who come to classes, but all the people who support them, all our amazing people, you know, who are, you know, they've just got our backs, and I really appreciate that. And we couldn't have carried on without them either. So, everybody in and connected to the Viv Kelly School of Dance and Theatre, much love to them all.
Fantastic. Thank you. I'm going to say thank you actually to my Biscuiteers. Well, a huge thank you, because I haven't had a chance to do this yet. This is the first show of 2021. I want to say a huge thank you for 2020. It was an amazing year. It was difficult. I did a drunken sort of Facebook Live a couple of weeks ago where I was just kind of like, it's been a terrifying but beautiful year. It really has, because we've had to adapt, we've had to change. And I used the word before we hit record, sort of limping through 2020. It hasn't felt like that through the whole thing. I think we were flying, like from sort of March onwards, we were flying through the year. We were kind of like, yes, we are the voice of Shrewsbury. Here's this, here's this, here's this. It was amazing. But towards the end, I was kind of like, this is hard. It's hard work. Like, so I've had my biscuiteers to back me up. So to Shane, to Jules, and to Dee Dee, and to Max from the beginning of the year, you guys have been an amazing group of people to be around. And I want to say thank you for your hard work. So there you go. That's me being soppy. Better stop because I'll cry. Have you got a website, Lindsay, that people can get in touch with you?
Yeah, www.kellydance.co.uk. You can email us there as well. There's a contacts page right there, and you can direct email us through the website. That's also got our current schedule on it, although hopefully that will expand soon. And all our contact details. So love to hear from you.
Fantastic. Check out our website too as well, guys, just to confuse you. I'm going to throw another website at you, which is www.theshrewsburybiscuitpodcast.co.uk. Amazing website where you can get all of our audio. You can download it. If you don't want to do the apps and things, you can download it straight from there. And that's made for us by our friends at Web Orchard. If you need a website, make sure you go see them. They'll make you a great site. Right, we're going to get out of here. Thank you guys very, very much for joining me on today's show. And listeners, make sure you catch us next time. It's 2021. We're going to absolutely smash it. So catch you guys next time. Peace out.